My name is Stefan Grunkemeier with Simply Rocks, and today I'm here at my neighbor's house where I helped set all of these outcropping rocks behind me. We did this as an alternative to a wall. They wanted a wall and they wanted to level off their yard to build a lawn. After talking with them, I discovered that they don't really want a lawn. They just wanted something that looks nice in front of their house. And instead of using all those rocks on the wall, we sort of spread them out and used them as natural outcroppings. And they're going to put some cobblestone in and build dry streams and finish with plantings that they pick out. But I just wanted to go over some tips and tricks and some of the ideas behind my design here, so that hopefully you guys can get something out of it.
So right here is the bottom of the hill. They had these two stumps right here and right here that were full of blackberries and sticker bushes. They look like that. We tore all those out. Before I came, I had him use his machine and dig over there in the dirt pile and build me some berms up top here, 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 and here. He put topsoil there so that I could use that and sculpt it with the natural outcroppings. The way that these rocks are set, what I tried to do is emulate what I see when I go hiking in the mountains. I'm a self-taught rock setter, and I don't read very many books, but I do try to copy things that I see that are done by God, because He's better than any of us at design. Right here, I wanted to make it look like this part of the mountain broke off and then fell down in the valley. Right here, you see that sometimes. And then they're gonna fill this in with like ground cover and greenery to make that look like a little meadow. And then this is another little hill right here that I built. I did that mainly to disguise these septic lids that are behind it. So we'll be able to hide those with some plantings behind these rocks. I'm gonna walk up to the top. You'll be able to see sort of a lima bean shaped bed that I built up here. Previously this all kind of sloped down with the grade of the lawn. So we built this up a little bit and we created this level spot so that it was more comfortable, you know, more functional when they drive up. They've got this little bed that they'll be able to plant some evergreens in. And then we started setting these outcropping rocks and created sort of a lima bean shape right up here at the top. Started with the large rocks, and the way these are set, if you look closely, there's a few kind of repetitive themes going on. The tops, if they're flat, then I flatten out the tops and make them level. Kind of sounds weird, but that makes them look more natural, because that's what they look like up in the mountains. If I find one with a cool top, you know, then I'll use that up at the top. Also, trying to match up angles like this is going to make it look more natural, because when the rocks break, you'll notice in nature they follow the suture lines and they bust off of each other. And the faces also frequently line up. Not always in the exact same direction, but you can see these two are parallel, and they're also parallel with that one right there and that one right there. And then you see these are crooked. These are at a different angle, but they're both crooked at the same angle. And they follow this crooked rock back here. But then this one right here, it goes back to the same angle as those. So you kind of get the illusion that these all used to be one part of the mountain together. Anytime you got character on a rock, you want to show it off. This one had, you know, a pretty little right angle right here, so I put that up at the, it looked like it might have busted apart from this one and this one. Also groupings, if you can do 3 and 1, that's going to look a lot better than 2. I don't know why that is, but I know that's the case. Like that one kind of lonely, these 3 are kind of friendly. These 2, it makes kind of a linear thing if you have 2 that are right in a row. Those 2 look good because one's flat and one's tall and they're buddies next to each other. And you don't have to follow all the rules anyway. Rules are made to be broken. There's 2 rocks in a row and they look just fine. They're next to those 3 rocks, you know. So also for planting, I put little rocks and drew circles on them so that they know where to put plants. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But when you're setting the rocks, you want to think backwards to what it's going to look like once you finally get to planting it. The dry streams, which if you don't know what a dry stream is, it's basically this river rock, you know, which we took a whole bunch of and put in piles because this dirt was really rocky. But you take this river rock and you put it back in to the landscape, but you design it in a way where it gives the illusion that it might have been a stream that dried up, used to flow water at some point. And to sell that design, you need to have it make sense. Water follows gravity. So starting at the top, I've got this dry stream kind of emulating in the middle of these rocks, and then widening here. You want swooping curves, and you don't want everything the same width. You want things to get skinnier and then wider, you know, coming along here. This rock right here, he kind of busts the middle of this dry stream. So you can imagine that there'll be cobblestone on either side of this rock coming down through here. This is kind of a dry pond up in here. So this side of the dry stream starts there, loops around and comes down to here, and then also Y's off and goes down into here, which will be another little dry pond that'll bust down through here and end up back where we just were in this stream, kind of coming around this way, down through there. And it starts up again in this little berm right here. So there's another opportunity for planting. See that little guy right there? It's gonna be an evergreen someday. Anytime you've got 3 rocks together, that's an opportunity to put a creative little plant behind it. So right here, they're gonna come together. They're gonna swoop down through the center. And this is like where everything meets, right down through here. So this would be the, if there were water, the steepest part of the current. We get to here, here's that other berm in front of the septic tanks. Starting another dry stream, coming down, meeting up with this guy. Everything meets together. This one swoops around, and look what we got. We got a little island right here. And the shape of this island is determined by the border of this dry stream. So I made kind of a half of a yin-yang going right around here. Now over here, there's another berm. Picked another cool rock up at the top. And if you can see the rock below it, those might have busted off of each other at some point, all right? See the angles, how they line up? See if I were to keep going, how the faces all match. I might mention that the only point of view is not coming up from the driveway. You gotta think about everywhere that it's gonna be looked at from, and the house is up top. So right here, I made it come down this way too, so that it wouldn't just be nice from one angle. Be nice from when you're at the top of the hill. So this comes down. I left piles of rock, you know, when we dug out. Left them piles of cobblestone to reclaim in the dry stream. All of this is really rough right now. This is not finished at all. But I haven't done this type of work in a couple years, and I thought that this would be a good opportunity to take a video to kind of show some of the philosophies that I have behind rock setting. Which again, you guys can take what you like and add more of what you know that I don't know, and remove parts of what I like if you don't like it. Nothing is set in stone, so to speak, when you're doing rock work. But these are some principles that I follow, meaning the faces lining up at different angles, the tops being flat if you can. If you got a rock that's not flat and you're not going for a flat top, part of it might be flat, and you flatten that part. It makes the whole rock look better. Sometimes you don't do that. Sometimes you do a peak, because this rock just looks better like a mountain. So this dry stream, everything comes down through here. I put that log there, found it in the ground. The current might have washed it and left it at some point. And then this all kind of accumulates down here at the bottom, where there'll be a dry pond. Eventually they'll probably continue it all the way out into the woods. And that's important too, that you start the water, even if it is a dry stream, you start it from the high point. I mean, this could be a water feature or a dry stream, but when you look at it, you want it to make sense. And what makes sense is things that follow the principles of nature, and water follows gravity. So we're starting up way at the top behind these rocks, given the illusion that it's coming out maybe from even behind the house. This right here is going to start behind the rock and come around. Everything's going to come from the top, and it's going to follow gravity. Nothing's coming up and down. It's all going down. I built up with the berms in the different spots so that I could have that texture to use the rocks to structurally stabilize. But yeah, all the dry stream comes downhill and it ends at the bottom. And if it were to continue, which I think they're going to do, it would really look like maybe at some point in time water used to flow here. Kind kind of dissipated the last few rocks a little further out to stretch them. You don't want to stop everything all at once. You want to make it flow into the next transition, even if it is just into the sticker bushes. So I'll walk up here so you can kind of see some of the angles. Notice right here, the rocks are all facing me. But right there, those rocks, they're all facing me now. So I've got rocks that kind of greet me as I come up. This batch that cleft off, and then those ones are facing me now. Pretty cool. If I were to look at them when I walk by, you'll see how the faces line up the way I was describing. There's that little bed. This one's going to hold water. Anytime you can get a little bird bath rock in there, that's cool. But yeah, once the plantings are in here, it's going to cover all this septic tank stuff. Right here is going to be a little meadow of ground cover. And that's how I set outcropping rocks. I'll walk all the way up. Thanks for watching.